Here we have the Guardians of the Galaxy bundle in Fortnite. And in this, we actually get some really awesome skins. So we actually get Drax. Here we actually have young adult Groot, which is actually the big boy. And then our lovely Mantis. So let's go ahead and decide if this bundle is worth it or not. So if we go ahead and actually take a look at Drax in the locker, first thing you'll notice right off the bat is that red coloration on the skin. And just like in the movie, it actually has the skulls on the chest right here. You can actually see them, like, there's a skull right here, there's a couple skulls on the other side. But these don't look like tattoos, because, you know, tattoos aren't typically, like, raised on the skin unless you just got them done. These are just raised. It looks super cool. I love that we have the grayish skin, and he doesn't look like Drax from the movies. I mean, like, he does, but he also doesn't. I mean, he doesn't look as buff as Drax in the movie, and honestly, I think that's a good design choice for the Fortnite one, because it could have been a little bit too big like some of the other skins we've got in the past, but I do think the details are definitely there. I love that we have it kind of looks like bloodshot eyes almost with the blue, and I love, again, I just can't tell you how cool the red tattoos are on the skin. Like, the details in there are immaculate. I wish you would stop freaking moving around. And actually, on the leg right here, we actually have the Guardians of the Galaxy logo, that little crest right there. The pants are this weird, like, dark gray, not gray, brownish color. I don't know. It kind of doesn't match the skin. I'm not a huge fan of how this looks. I kind of wish it was a lighter tan. It probably would have stood out a little bit better. And the boots aren't really anything too spectacular. I wish there was kind of like a knife stuck in there, kind of like how we have Drax with his blades right here. And we'll get to these blades in a second, because that's actually part of the back bling and pickaxes. But, you know, as just a locker view of this skin, it doesn't look bad at all. And then for the back bling, we actually have Drax's blades. And these are actually the ones that he was just holding in his hands a second ago. And they look really cool. And what's really cool is in-game, they actually, when you take them out, they actually get unsheathed from this Guardians of the Galaxy, like, back bling thing. But the handles on these are kind of interesting. I'm not a huge fan of the design choice here. It looks like a fish. Like, that doesn't look intimidating to me at all. I'm not a huge fan of that. But the sheath part is actually pretty cool. It actually looks a little bit kind of like how the boots look, that color. And again, I absolutely love the Guardians of the Galaxy crest right here. And the blades are actually tied together with this red cloth. And honestly, that would have been a way better color for the pants. So I take back the light tan. I think that would have been a perfect thing. But I will say, on the blades, it's not asymmetrical. And honestly, I feel like in this case, it probably should have been a little bit more asymmetrical, because these blade handles look a little bit too perfect, in my opinion, for these to be like these battle-worn axes. I don't know. I feel like these could have been a little bit better. But, you know, overall, I do think the back bling looks super good as well. And now for our locker view of young adult Groot. And here he is actually holding the pickaxe from the bundle. And I just can't tell you how cool it is to see those fireflies actually circling the skin. And of course, that doesn't happen unless you're actually using the pickaxe in-game, but I do think in the locker it looks super cool. And this one is actually the one from the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and what stands out right immediately to me, these butt cheeks on Groot. Oh my gosh, that is so funny to me. But as you can see, there is a lot of bark here, and the normal Groot skin is a little bit thinner, a little bit skinnier, and I think it actually might be a little bit taller than this skin too. But I love the details on the face. We have those brown, beautiful eyes. We even have a twig sticking out of the head. Honestly, it kind of just looks like a random trunk got cut down and some stuff's just going out. I love the mossy details kind of just scattered along the top and throughout the chest and everywhere. All the bark going across each other and actually like combining to make one big piece looks really cool. I'm so glad that when they designed Groot, they didn't just make him look like a straight up tree trunk, because that would have looked stupid. So I love that we have the overlapping bark, and I think the design choice on here also looks super nice. Again, I can definitely see how people would hate on this just because it isn't the original Groot and it's not the one that we're used to, but it looks super good, because I'm not sure if y'all knew this about Groot, but every time there's a new version, it's a different character. So it's not the same Groot that sacrificed himself in the very first movie. It's actually a brand new Groot, and that's why he looks a little bit different, because it's not the same one. And in this case, this is young adult Groot from the new movie, and it looks super good. So taking a look at the legs, I love how we have the thicker thighs up here at the top, and it kind of gets skinnier as we go down, but then it also gets really big at the bottom. I'm not a super big fan of that. It makes him look a little bit too chunky. I wish it kind of would have slimmed down a little bit, but I do think it looks good, and it also looks like these sides are also symmetrical as well, almost, and I don't like that. I'm telling you, when it comes to this stuff right here, this should not be symmetrical. This should be asymmetrical. The only thing asymmetrical right here is this little twig sticking out of the side. But on the back, again, we have some more bark, and it actually has bark placed in strategic spots to make him look like he's very bulky and very muscular. Like right here, we actually have back muscles, and I really love that they have that, because that just adds a lot more texture and character to this, and I have no complaints about this. Like, honestly, I adore this. And now for the back bling. This is actually Groot's gamepad, and this one is a little bit bigger than the one that we saw in the second film. But what's really awesome, the first thing I want to point out is this Groot keychain that's actually hanging off the back bling. So if you weren't wearing this with the Groot skin, it definitely blends in right now because we're on Groot. But if you were wearing this with like Star-Lord or something, it would stand out a lot more, and it's Groot. I really like that. It looks like a different version of Groot too, because it's definitely not this one. It's definitely slimmer in the face, and it's not our normal Groot either. But it is really cool. But the best part is obviously the gamepad itself. We have a twig circle in it. We even have the fireflies that we saw on the pickaxe. And it even says Fortnite Battle Royale on the gamepad. This is literally just an advanced Game Boy, honestly, with some buttons. And I have no complaints with this. I love that it's even battle worn. It has some scratches, some damage on here. Like Groot was playing with it while we were playing Infinity War. It's very cool. So this is the lock review of our Mantis skin. And the first thing I want to say right now, this skin is reactive, and we're going to figure out what that means later in the video, but the antennas on here are actually reactive. So I'm assuming every time you get a kill or every time you do something in the game, the antennas actually glow, and that is fantastic. The thing about this skin, it is a carbon copy from the movies, except for the face. The face is just a little bit different than the actors we get in the movies, and honestly, I think that's okay. I love the design choice here. I even love the hands that we're having right here, like the holding hands animation that we see in the locker. What I really like, and what you might not pick up, this is actually obviously supposed to be a praying mantis. We even have this little cape here in the back that's strategically placed here to actually give it the same effect as a praying mantis would. Ooh, we even have some green highlights in the hair as well, and I don't think that's present in the movies, so that's a really cool, nice touch here. This looks fantastic. Like, it's very sleek, very elegant. If you're a Guardians of the Galaxy fan, if you like Mantis, this is a very, very, very good model of Mantis. Like, I have, again, no complaints here. And finally, my favorite back bling out of the entire bundle, the little Abilisk. If you don't know what this is, think of the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie at the very beginning. They're fighting the giant suckly thing, and Groot's just playing the music. That's literally what this is, but a baby. It has an Anulex battery right here, and his eyes are bulging in and out. I honestly, this is so cute. I love this so much. And here we have Drax's blades. And again, I wish that these weren't symmetrical. I hate that it's symmetrical. But I do really like the hilts here. The blades are also very shiny. And we even have those Drax tattoos on them as well. Going on to the Flora Colossus fist. This is Groot's, and it is literally a fist. It has the thumb, the four fingers. It has the fireflies going all over it. And it's literally just an intertwined twig. Oh, it looks fantastic. I love this. I love that we even have vines, the green vines going everywhere, some plants. It looks great. And I think that this is the best one out of the wave just because we have the fireflies. It's literally a Groot fist. It's so cool. It's a huge, though. I will say this is huge in game. And finally, we have the Insectoid claws. And at the bottom, it looks like we even have some like mantis eggs. And these are literally just scythe pickaxes with, you know, that iconic praying mantis arm right here with some little spikes, and it looks cool. It's definitely the weakest link out of the bunch, but it is very cool. And here we have this Zargnut Invisibiligy, and this is literally, you know, for Drax. He's going to turn invisible right now. There it is. This emote is very cool. It is literally just some Zargnuts that he's digging into, and then he just, you know, goes invisible. And obviously we got to do the potted Groot dance here for you. That's fantastic. That's awesome. It is literally the potted Groot dance as Big Groot. That's awesome. I'm just going to let you hear it real quick. And here we have our in-game view of Drax. And first off, I want you to point your attention to the back bling. So when we actually go and peel out our pickaxes, boom. You see that? It actually unsheaths and sheaths it into the back bling. And I think that is already a huge start. And I will say, in-game, it definitely is a little bit harder to actually see a lot of those details on the back, just especially with stuff covering it. But the details are obviously still there and they look fantastic. Obviously, you can't take a look at your chest, but the pants are definitely... It looks like Drax doesn't have a booty. Like, I know that's bad to say, but it looks like it's just cloth just sitting there and sagging. And that actually looks kind of bad. But the tattoos definitely look pretty good. And I love the feature that once you pull out the pickaxes, it pulls them out of the back bling. And once you put them away, it puts them right back in. I think that definitely is a huge plus. So taking a look at Groot in game, obviously his booty looks a little bit better than Drax's did. That Game Boy is also fantastic with the fireflies going everywhere, especially the pickaxe doing that. What's it sound like when we actually hit stuff? Nothing spectacular actually happens. But I wonder, does the same thing happen when we actually can get a gun and it sheaths our stuff? I don't think so. But you can definitely play hide and seek very well with this. I definitely think that this might be the best skin out of the bundle in my opinion. It looks super good in game. It's not as bulky as I thought it was going to be. Like, I honestly was a little scared that this was going to be too bulky to realistically play with. But no, I think this is actually almost a normal, like, dude-sized skin. And the details look even better in game. Like, this is genuinely surprising me how good it is. Like, this is what the normal texture of a tree looks like. They put some extra love, care, and attention into this skin because they could have just had stuff like this, but this looks great. And the pickaxe looks spectacular. I'm telling you, the best part about both of these are the fireflies. So immediately, I have to give my sincerest apologies to Mantis and these pickaxes. I was hating on them, but if you look at it, these actually form a perfect praying mantis pose. And, you know, in the movies, you can actually see Mantis actually kind of like tilting her hands forward when she's standing. But these pickaxes make it look almost identical to an actual praying mantis. And in-game, this looks phenomenal. So it definitely is, when we get a kill, the little things are going to light up. So that's really cool. And the swinging animation of this is actually super cool. And I love the little Abilisk. And he's just sitting there and just holding onto that battery. It looks so good. And so I think when it comes to these skins, especially the emotes and the back blings of pickaxes, let's talk about these and see if these are actually going to be worth it or not. Because this is actually a price that is going to be a little bit, you know, not accessible to everybody, because $30 is a lot cheaper than buying a $10 V-Bucks card and getting one single skin. You have to buy the entire bundle to get all of these. So, you know, essentially, we're talking about a hefty skin price. And here's the thing. I think all of these skins are great in their own ways. I definitely think that Groot is the one that stands out the most and was given definitely the most love. We have Drax that was also given some love, but it definitely could be a turn-off, especially if you were expecting Drax from the movies, because this just is not Drax from the movies. It's definitely a new recreation of the skin to actually have it fit better into Fortnite. And I don't know if that's good or bad. I think that it's a good idea. I really like the skin, but I can definitely see where people could be turned off by it. The Groot one, on the other hand, I think it is the best one out of the bundle. It looks fantastic. The details in there are perfect. And Mantis, if you don't like Mantis, you're going to hate this skin. I personally really love the Guardians, and I'm a huge fanboy, so like I have nothing bad to say about it, but I can definitely see that this is the most boring one out of the pack. And when it comes to all the pickaxes, Drax's are alright, Mantis's are alright, but Groot's, again, is the standout. And then when it comes to the back bling, Groot's is alright. I think Mantis's, the little Abilisk, is definitely the best one, and the Drax's is kind of the worst one. All it does, the only special thing about it is it sheathes and unsheathes in-game. And then we have the two emotes, which are also very fantastic. If you've watched the movies, you'll have a happy place in your heart for this. But again, I think at the $30 price tag, I honestly, unless you are a super big Guardians of the Galaxy fan, I honestly can't see this being worth it. But for me, and a lot of the other fans of Marvel, and especially the Guardians of the Galaxy, I can 100% see this being worth it. I saw it, I got online, and I'm making this video right now, like an hour after this came out, because I was already in bed when this came out. And when I heard it actually was out, I got up, made this video, and I love it so much. So, yeah, honestly, I think this can go either way. But anyways, I think we're going to wrap up the video right here. Seriously, thank y'all so much for watching, studs. And I will see y'all later.